Hey guys, and welcome to another video of Terraform. My name is Chia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through Terraform variable, especially what is a Boolean variable in Terraform, right? In any programming languages, we always know that Boolean is something that we call the true or false. That means if something equal true, we can do something. If not, we can do something else. That means with this, we'll be kind of going through also Terraform decision making a little bit, which is like an if statement in Bash script, right? Or other programming languages. Let me go here and click here, and it's going to open the hands-on that we'll be using throughout this little video. And here I'm going to make sure that I put the link of this GitHub repository in the description below, so that if you want to go ahead and follow exactly what I'm doing, you are more than welcome to do so. Here, I don't like to kind of open my code here through GitHub. I will go ahead and kind of grab this thing here. I clone this repository already, and I have it local. I'll just jump in there. Let me cd to the root of this, and ls I'm going to go to code, and in code here I have everything in this Terraform stuff. Okay, here, and I'm going to cd to where this code is. If you say pwd here, this is Terraform, and that is the Boolean variable. If you click this, I basically have two examples, and I can tap to go dot and open the VS Code where I am right here. Now, let me kind of click on the first example here. When I click on the first example here, what is going on here? I basically create a variable, and this variable type is called a bool. Bool means a Boolean variable, and it have two options. It can be either true or false. Here, we put the default to be true, right? And we can always change this to be false. And here, we want to create an EC2 instance, and would create that based on this Boolean value. We say count, right? Count is just it's just an element that we can use in Terraform to create like multiple EC2 instance. Let's say I want to create 5 EC2 instances. I can just say count equal 5. And when I'll fire this up, this will go ahead and create 5 EC2 instances. Here, I am saying count. That means the number of instances that I want to create. But I'm going to create this kind of based on a condition. I say var.create. If var.create, which means if this is equal to true, that is what this statement means. If var.create is equal to true, yes, go ahead and fire up one EC2 instance, else do not create anything. This will go ahead and create one EC2 instance. Why? Because var.create here is equal to true. If you put false, what will happen? I will say var.create now is equal to false. What will happen? This will not create any EC2 instance, and that's why we have 0 here. Now, let me go ahead and kind of cd to the first example and initialize this thing. Cd, I'll go to example 01, and ls, let us type Terraform init. And when this will go ahead, this will just go ahead and kind of download the provider, and it will start a local, and it's not going to perform any further action. After that, we can go ahead and kind of tap Terraform plan and see exactly what is going to happen. Now, if we check carefully, we can see here that this is going to add one EC2 instance. Why is going to do that? It is just because, let me close this. It is just because var.create, this is set to true. Let us kind of change that and set it to false. If you save this, that means var.create is false. Go ahead and do not create anything. And let us go ahead and test that and see if Terraform is going to create anything. If you say Terraform plan, As you guys can see, Terraform is not going to create anything. Why? Because the condition, because var.create, the default value now is false, which means do not create any EC2 instance. We can go ahead here and say if var.create equal true here, please go ahead and create two EC2 instances, right? Two EC2 instances. And what will happen here is that if you go ahead, I'm going to try this and say Terraform plan. As you guys can see here, it is going to create two EC2 instances, right? And if you, let's say I am satisfied with this, I can go ahead and type Terraform apply. And when I type Terraform apply, we might have an issue here, especially when it comes to the tag, because we are trying to create two EC2 instances, and here we are kind of putting the tag to be the same thing. When I will go ahead and try to fire this up, you guys might see that we might run into an issue. And here I basically have all these things. I kind of pick the VPC security group ID. I have one ID that I just hard coded here, and this security group exists in my account. And also I kind of grab a subnet ID where I want to launch and this EC2 instance. I mean, if you want to follow the same thing, you make sure that you change the AMI accordingly. You go ahead and put your instance key accordingly. You put the security group, because if you want, you can use Terraform to create a security group, of course, or if you have one that you created already in this particular region, which is US East 1, you can go ahead and grab the ID and punch it in here. And you can kind of take, if you have a VPC already, you can go ahead also and take the subnet ID and punch it in here, right? If you go ahead and kind of trying to say Terraform apply, we'll see what is going to happen. Terraform apply. And I will go ahead here and type yes. You can always use half and auto approve, and let it wait a little bit, and it will go ahead and try to launch this. And right now it is kind of creating an EC2 instance. If you move to AWS and go to EC2, here I'll have one instance running in my account, but if we check here, we have another one here, and the instance basically name everything the same, right? And we can always change this thing if we want to give, let's say, we can use something called a count.index. When you use a count.index, that means you want to go ahead and kind of change the instance name here and put whatever you want. And that is something that I'm going to discuss thoroughly in another video, so that this can be like a VM1, another one is VM2, so that you know that, hey, this is the first VM, this is the second VM. As in this case, Terraform basically name everything the same, right? But the goal of this exercise is to understand just the Boolean value, but not just to understand how to use the count meta argument in Terraform, right? Because there will be another video where I'm going to explain how to properly use the count meta argument. And if you are interested, please let me know in the comment below, and I will go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and do another video just for that. Let me go ahead here and do Terraform destroy, and I will look another example where I will not go ahead and kind of fire Terraform up to create that. I'll go ahead here and say yes, and where it's destroying, let me kind of check another example here, like example 2. In this example, basically, what are we going to do here? Here, I kind of define a bucket surface length, and I call the type is equal a number. The default here is equal 8. You can put anything that you want. And here I kind of define also the bucket suffix special. It can be anything, and this one here, it is the a Boolean value, and another one here, the uppercase, it is a Boolean value. The bucket suffix number also, it is just a Boolean value. Here as you can see here, I kind of added something here called a random provider. A random provider is basically used when you want to generate a set of string, right? With maybe a number, a lowercase, and number, lowercase to do something, especially when you want to create an S3 bucket. Sometimes if you cannot really come up with good names, you can just use this thing called a random provider that will go ahead and kind of generate a random string that you can go ahead and attach that one to your S3 bucket and make sure that your S3 bucket is unique. And here I can have a random resource, right? With the random resource, you can put all this argument. The argument called a link. What is the length of this random resource? I can specify here that the length, I want it to be 8 characters. And here, do I want a special character? Yes, we say special characters. If you can see here, special character is var dot suffix dot special, which means here we say var dot suffix dot special. The boolean here is equal to what? Is a boolean value, as here is set to false, which means it is not going to include a special character because that boolean value is set to false. If it was true, it will go ahead and add some special character that we know on the keyboard, right? We say uppercase. Do I want to put any uppercase? No, as you can see here, upper, I say boolean is false, which means when it's going to do this, when it's going to create this string, it is not going to, this random string, it is not going to put any uppercase. And here, what do we want to include some numbers? Yeah, the boolean is true, which means this random string will just have some numbers and also some lowercase characters, right? And here now we can kind of use that to come up with a bucket name. We just say a bucket name is equal my unique bucket. This can be anything that you want, and we can refer this resource here to kind of get the random string, and we just say random string dot bucket dot suffix, and we want to go ahead and get the result. And here we can kind of create a tag. Let me go ahead and create this one because this one is a little bit interesting. I'll go ahead and open Terraform in this specific location, or I can go ahead and just cd into example cd. Let me first of all see where I am right now. If I'm in example 1 pwd, I am in example 1. I mean, I will say cd dot dev, and I'm going into example 2, and that is cool. We are here in example 2. I'll go ahead and say Terraform init in example 2. I will initialize this. Go. When this is done, we'll go ahead and type Terraform plan and apply. Just basically downloaded the module, and we'll go ahead here and type Terraform. I'll go ahead and type plan, and I'm going to show you guys what is going to generate and append to the S3 bucket. If we scroll up all the way and look for the bucket name, the bucket name should be somewhere here. After apply, I'm too fast. So you can see here, this is the random string resource. It looks like it will show everything after apply. I'll go ahead and apply it, and I'll hook over to AWS console, and we'll see how it's basically come up with a bucket name. Terraform apply. And I will hit yes. I really want to do this. And when this is done, we'll check this thing through the console. Now, this basically shut down everything. Let me go to S3 bucket. I'm going to S3, and I'm going to see what the bucket name is. This is that bucket name, my unit bucket. As you guys can see here, it basically generated a random string. And with this random string, I am sure 100% that nobody will have this bucket name in AWS, right? Because my bucket name had to be unique in all AWS account. As you guys can see, it did not put any uppercase or a special character within the random string. Why? Because I basically use the Boolean parameters and say I don't want any special character. Also, I don't want any uppercase. And if you even try to put uppercase and say true, we might kind of run into an issue here. Let's say as a special character, let me go ahead here and put uppercase true. AWS might allow us, like AWS might not. Let us go ahead here and kind of fire Terraform plan or Terraform plan. As you guys can see here, uppercase keyword true is not available, right? Because most of the time, AWS don't want you to put a special character or also put an uppercase on the bucket name. Just use some little random string, but make sure that you are using dot numbers and lowercase and lowercase characters, right? That's it for this video, guys. I'll go ahead and kind of destroy the resource. Every time that you create something in AWS, when you are done, please go ahead and delete that, right? I'll go ahead and turn this thing into false, and I'll save it. Let me first of all, it looked like it wasn't safe the first place. If I say true again, it looked like it wasn't safe in the first place. And I will go ahead and try it again one more time with a plan. Yeah, that's Terraform didn't like it. I'll go ahead here and kind of remove that, put the Boolean at false, and I'll go ahead and type Terraform destroy. Now, what was the goals here? The goals here in this little exercise will just kind of learn how the Boolean parameter works, and we kind of check it with a little bit of decision making in Terraform, and also with random resource. And I hope you guys also take this opportunity to learn how to use a random resource in AWS, right? Because this is very helpful, especially when you cannot come up with a good name to create your S3 bucket or anything that you know that it should be unique in all AWS account. If you cannot do that, please use a random resource so that it will create a random string with numbers, and you can append to that resource. And with that, you will make sure that it will always make sure that what you are about to create, it will be unique in all AWS account. That's it for this video, guys, and we'll talk to you guys later on. Bye-bye.